Democrats are going crazy over these don't say hey bills. I'm not going to say the G word just in case, someone wants to like report me or clip me out of context and call me like a bigot and stuff. So I'm just going to say hey. So the don't say hey bill passed in Florida it's spreading like a virus all throughout the country. And now other Republican governors and other state legislatures want to pass similar styled bills. Which should be, or Republicans are calling them anti-grooming bills, essentially, to prevent grooming in the public schools, which has been going on for quite some time. Me, having worked for the government, is fully aware that this is actually occurring in these public institutions. And it's been going on way too long. And finally, a state legislature has been, they got the courage to take on the grooming, take on the teachers union, take on the teachers themselves, and fight back and defend the parents. These teachers have waged a silent war against parents. That is 100% true. And they're being gross and disgusting and inappropriate. And I can go into details about the bill. I can pwn the libs and, talk about how they're dishonest and stuff. But I just want to put something into context. I don't want this to drag on too long. But let's imagine, if you will, somebody like myself. I am a straight dude. I like women. And I date women. And let's pretend that I'm in a position to teach children, and I engage in inappropriate conversations with children on my own, completely separate from my duties as a teacher. And I ask the students, these young children, from ages ranging from kindergarten all the way to 5th grade, maybe even middle school. So that's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I'm asking them to talk to me about their sexuality. And then I showed them explicit, disgusting adult images, if you will. And I'm showing these images to them, and I'm asking them, what does this mean to you? What do you feel when you see this? And I'm showing them, images and this, and that. Just imagine if someone like me were to do something like that. Prior to 2020, prior to this the woke scourge on America, you get your ass beat for doing something like that. Just to put this even more in perspective, if I'm at a bar or at a club, which I frequent somewhat oftenly, and I try to have those types of conversation with a woman, a lady that I never met before, I'm gonna get beat up. That's like the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I get bounced out of the club. I get bounced out of the bar. I get 86 because I'm gross and inappropriate. I've seen it happen before. There was this guy that was friends with some of my other buddies. I didn't know this creep, but he was going up to women, being gross and inappropriate, asking inappropriate questions, and he got bounced out. He was really close to getting his ass beat by the other patrons of the bar. And I'm just like, man, that's your guys' friend? That's pretty embarrassing. They're like, oh, I don't know. I just barely know him. Now all of a sudden people were like disavowing it. That's how disgusting and creepy that type of behavior is. Grown men and women just completely repulsed by that behavior. But it is allowed in the public schools. It's sanctioned by the state. It's encouraged by this illegitimate administration, the Joe Brandon administration. They want these teachers, these disgusting creeps with the pink hair and the stupid piercings and the dumb, idiotic tattoos. They want them to sit down with these students from ages ranging from kindergarten or from classes, grade levels, from kindergarten all the way to 5th grade, middle school, etc. They want to talk to them about the kind of sex that the children are thinking about, that they want. They want them to explore their gender ideology or whatever. They want to talk to them about, they want to show them pornographic images. There are these board meetings where the parents are bringing required reading material. And it is showing instructions on how to engage in anal sex and all sorts of other things. Again, just imagine a random adult male, straight or otherwise, it doesn't really matter, showing images, showing instructions to a child, a minor, how to engage in anal sex. Again, there was a time in this country where you get your fucking ass beat for doing something like that. This is the hill the Democrats are going to die on. This is the hill that they're going to fight on. They want to fight for this. And now they're saying that the Republicans they're going after the trans kids. We got to protect the trans kids. This has nothing to do with the children. This has everything to do with these disgusting teachers, these clerks in government, these corrupt administrators, these phony baloney school board members. This is about them imposing the democratic agenda onto these children, introducing the democratic platform into the classroom, forcing down the throats of these children this gender woke ideology. It's nothing to do with the children. These laws are designed to protect children from being indoctrinated. Guys, education is not hard to figure out. It's really, really simple. A child needs to be able to communicate, read and write, and be introduced to good literature, like Hemingway, Orwell, etc. They should understand American history, be proud of their American heritage, love their country. They need to understand, the fundamentals of mathematics, so they don't go out into the world completely clueless about, really simple things. But now it's just like, actual education it's fallen by the wayside, and it's been replaced by the essentially the agenda of the Democratic establishment. Whatever they want. They want critical race theory. They want anti-racist training, equity training, all this other nonsense. It's all critical race theory. It all falls under the same umbrella. It goes by many different terms. They try to confuse people. Critical race theory, equity, diversity, inclusivity training, etc. It's all that's the same thing. It's all the same thing. All the gender woke ideology. It falls under the same umbrella. And and people are waking up to it, and people are pissed. And I feel like this really got out of hand. People really started to waking up, and they became, very aware of what's been going on in the classrooms back in 2020, when all the students were forced into the remote learning. They were forced into the remote learning, so the kids are at home. They're, they got the little headset on, or they got the speakers on, and the parents are in the background, doing dishes or whatever, and they're listening to the instructions. And they're like, "Wait a minute, you're being taught what? What's going on with this assignment? What did that teacher say? Hold up, something is wrong here." The parents, not to point fingers, I'm not trying to be inflammatory, but some of y'all were asleep at the wheel. Myself included. I'm not a parent, but I was asleep at the wheel. And again, I was privy to this stuff back in 2017 when I did some stuff with the government, and I've been exposed to some memos, and I was just aware of the direction that the government was going to be going in. And it was not the main reason why I ended up divorcing myself from that life, but I guess it could be one of them. It might have been one. If I didn't leave when I did, I probably would have left already. Much later on down the road, simply because of stuff like this. I don't want to be a part of anything like this. If I was a teacher, I'd be embarrassed. I'd probably be fired if I was a teacher. I'd be like, "Wait a minute, you guys want me to teach this junk to these children? You guys want me to introduce this trash to these little kids? Like, I'm their teacher. These are my students. They have to trust me. They're going to be looking up to me. They're going to be looking to me to answer complex questions about, the material and stuff. And now, you want to force me to teach them about, adult things? And it's just like I don't want to be responsible for that. It's not my job. I'll teach them how to read and write and be an effective communicator. We'll get them ready for the real world, so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But this gender crap, this wokester bullshit, not touching it at all. Teachers should be absolutely pushing back against this, but they're not. And I'm so sick of all these stupid articles that keep popping up on Facebook and stuff. And it's like, "Oh, well, the teachers are so abused. Oh, no. Oh, they don't get paid enough. Oh, the teacher burnout." You know what? Fuck you. Fuck those teachers. I know I was in the room. I was in the room when these teachers, when these clerks, when these admins were having conversations about the parents. They had nothing positive to say about them. The parents were an obstacle, and they were in their way of moving forward with their agenda. And it's just like, dude, guys, we're servants. We serve the public. We serve the children. We serve the parents. They trust us. Like, what the hell is this horse shit? Fucking left, man. I mean, God, it's just like, what's going on in these schools is not natural. These kids are growing up to hate themselves. They're trying to, introduce drugs into these children without the consent of the parents or without the knowledge of the parents. they're putting all this nonsense in their head, and it's just like, it's got to stop, man. People got to step up and stop this. They will not stop until they're stopped. Goodness, absolutely upsetting. My policy on children is simple. If I'm at the park with my dogs or whatever, I see little children, I just go the other way. My idiotic intervention is not gonna make their lives better. Kids need to be left alone to socialize and just let them be. Let them be. Stop trying to put this your politics into their head. Quit trying to talk to them about sex. It's just disgusting, man. Democrats are disgusting. Unfortunately, I'm still a registered Democrat because I'm too fucking lazy to go and change my registration. Where's Scott Pressler, man? He comes out to Vegas, just hit me up and, do it for me. I know he's been doing that for a lot of people, but yeah. And again, this is, I have nothing against people. You love who you love. Whatever you do in your private life, I don't really care. None of my business. It's not interesting. Nobody cares. But I am concerned about these fucking teachers exposing this woke nonsense to these kids. It's got to stop, man. And again, people got to show up, research who's going to be running for the school board, who look at your state legislature as well, vote for the right people, and demand that they pass legislation that protects children from being indoctrinated, because they are going to do it. They're already doing it. They're doing it. It's happening right now as we speak. And, if you got kids, it's time to sit down and have a conversation with them about the nonsense that's going on. And you got to tell them, just, look at the material that they're being taught, and start questioning it. Start having meet the teachers of your kids, and ask them, is this going on in the classroom? You have a right to know. People have a right to know. We got to fight back. It's the only way this stops is if we fight back, and don't give up. Because a lot of people are talking about this. There's a lot of momentum and a lot of pushback against the teachers unions, against these corrupt government officials, these fucking useless clerks. And again, they'll only be stopped when we stop them. Peace out.